I'm looking straight at him now, but if you will, if you don't mind, Oliver, I got to look to my left because I want to read something off my computer monitor from
Gotcha.
Newsweek. Tesla CEO and Department of Government Efficiency, Doge, head Elon Musk's net worth has reportedly decreased by approximately 121 billion since December. Why it matters? Musk numbers continue to take a hit this month as anti-Musk people have turned out widespread protest movements, including the Tesla takedown demonstrations nationwide and abroad as of March 30th, meaning yesterday this story was published. Musk was appointed by President Donald Trump to lead Doge in evaluating bloated federal budgets across multiple sectors. Trump's administration officials have claimed that Doge has already saved taxpayers $130 billion of a $2 trillion savings goal since its creation in January. So we know here because neighbors, friends, family are talking about it, as is my radio audience. But what's happening in the UK and around the world? Obviously, Tesla has taken a hit abroad. Why are so many people, but especially in Europe, going after Elon Musk and Doge? Go ahead.
I mean, this is a tough time for the Tesla brand, Rob. Most importantly, there are the protests and there's a lot of reaction to it, both domestically, but especially in Europe, of the Tesla product. Germany was a big market. It's a big market in general. Sales have dropped there. Musk is seen as being part of that American contingent that's looking to roll back the security umbrella and possibly raise taxes on Europeans as a result. He's not going to be a very popular person there. But Tesla is also facing some really challenging times in China. You know, the company, particularly the car company Build Your Dream, BYD, has come on strong. They're probably the world's best EV maker at this point. And in those markets where Tesla is going head to head with BYD, China being one of them, they're getting crushed. And I think the writing is on the wall for that company. It was an innovative company for a while. It's going to be facing a lot of challenges. I think Musk is wisely diversifying his businesses. I think that he's looking to move into becoming much more of a government contractor with SpaceX, with Starlink, with these operations. I think that might be the right move for him. Twitter got or X now got a decent valuation the other day when he folded it in to his AI company. I think it might be time for him. This is my hunch from following this story, from seeing the trouble in Europe and elsewhere. I think it might be time for him to unload that company. I think there might even be a Chinese buyer for it, like BYD at this point. A lot of the operation and factories are already there. They've already copied what he's doing.
Yeah, this is my humble opinion. I'm not saying he's going to pull Howard Hughes and move into that penthouse at the Desert Inn, but I honestly think he's going to start selling. And I did see that with his AI company for $33 billion for X. I can't say I blame him. I mean, he may just start a massive sell-off. I think SpaceX, there's a lot more to do, and I think he truly would like to go to Mars and colonize Mars. I think he really believes that is the future. But if I'm him, I'm also wondering, how long am I in it with President Trump before everything that I've worked for basically is gone? Do you think it'll get to that point that he may leave a little early, or is he the type of person that when he digs in, he digs in?
He's made smart gambles throughout his career, Rob, and I think that's been a characteristic. Like he went into EVs. I mean, he bought Tesla, a failing company, at a time when nobody thought EVs were going to be the future. He was ahead of the game. He could have gone any number of other ways. I mean, PayPal was a smart move. He was always ahead, and it's possible he's ahead here and we're not aware of it yet. I think the gamble is really for something like SpaceX and his other operations to become part of the government that is now being downsized, to become basically a private kind of, Halliburton, Blackwater type private contractor that, makes guaranteed money year after year off our federal tax dollars. That's a great deal. And then eventually he can go live, maybe not in like the hotel in Vegas, but maybe he can go live up in the stars somewhere in a room with that money rolling in guaranteed. I think the play is to become a private contractor that just has a leg up on government contracts. He's got to go all in on it now. He's in for a penny, in for a pound. Like you said, he's going to keep seeing some slippage there. The market itself is slipping. That's a worry. So I think it's tough times ahead, but if he is, as he's been in the past, he's probably going to hold on for the next big thing. And I think that's to be the space, satellite, every other kind of provider to the federal government. I think that's a $1 trillion deal if it comes to fruition.
All right, I do believe Starlinks is the reason why Ukraine was able to survive the onslaught of 120,000 invading Russian troops. But now let's go to that. Oliver Bateman joining me, columnist who is in the Trib, in the Post-Gazette, but he's also read around the world. So you got Zelensky and now President Trump saying he wants to renegotiate this rare earth mineral deal. He wants the EU Union to back him up because it seems as though America is backing away. Zelensky saying one thing and then saying another thing. Putin doing the same. We'll call it a day, ceasefire, no energy facilities. And what does he do? Putin, the very next day, he goes after him again. How are we being perceived as far as the war in Ukraine? Who do they think we're actually helping here? Russia or Volodymyr Zelensky, America?
I genuinely wonder that myself, Rum. Like it's almost like the negotiations that are going on right now, both with Russia and with Iran, they just don't seem to be fundamentally like. I think we don't know what we want to do. I think Trump wants to, in the course of his deal making, keep all the options on the table. He's got one of his hotel developer partners negotiating the Iran deal and working on this other stuff. I think personally we might be a little out of our depth on these as far as one thing at a time. We're looking to go all in Iran at a time when we're potentially unsure what we want to do in Russia. Putin seems to be, like you said, taking pot shots, right? We're going to have a ceasefire one day and fire the next, fire a few hours later. It's something that is not making the United States foreign policy look consistent or good. And the rest of the world's definitely taking note. Say what you want about the previous Republican and Democratic administrations, there has been a lot of consistency in terms of the foreign policy. Here, there might be some moves that we need to make or have needed to make, but it seems to be very inconsistent in how they're making those moves. They're like working it out on the fly, and people are dying.
So I read an article the other day that the UK may not be able to trust America with their secrets because of the leak. How are we being perceived worldwide, places that you write about in your column after the leak?
Well, I think that the chat app scandal is just so strange. Why are these details? They have technology for discussing these things online. They have safe technology. They have encrypted technology. Why is this happening? I think that the whole multi-nation surveillance umbrella that the United States, the United Kingdom, and other member nations were part of, I think that was a valuable thing to be part of. I think that those countries are going to have to probably reevaluate and take a step back just to avoid losing face on their own. I think at this point, all the things that countries held certain about the United States are very unstable. And it's understandable, we're renegotiating, we're making new deals and all that sort of stuff. But I had thought that maybe we'd handle these things one deal at a time, one tariff war at a time. He proceeded that way last time. It's like he feels like he has like a year to get this done or he's going to die or something like that. It's very rushed. And the result is I don't think we're giving our best effort anywhere. And we're getting the kind of sloppiness that you see with, a bunch of guys in a Signal chat room, boasting about what they're going to do with bombing in Yemen.
Not good. So do you think he's serious about thinking about a third term?
It's very hard to say with him. There's certainly nothing is 100% with him. I think that there's a lot of water testing going on right now. I think people that are surrogates for him and that carry water for him. We're sort of testing this. I think it would be a very high barrier for him to climb. And it looks like a lot of the special elections right here in Pennsylvania have not gone his way.
No, not at all.
And there's going to be a midterms coming up. There's a Florida special elections, very critical. Those are going to be bellwethers. And if he gets swamped in the midterms, I don't think that the third term is going to be on the table. They're going to want to move on if he can't deliver the goods.
And in closing, Oliver Bateman, columnist, you see him sometimes in the PG, sometimes in the Trib, but he writes his column is seen around the world. If he wants to have J.D. Vance, and he says he's not sure yet, he hasn't seen enough, but if he wants his message to continue with current members of his administration, in particular the vice president, he's got to get more of these right than wrong, right?
I mean, I'm sure Vance, who undoubtedly wants to be president, right? Every VP wants to be president. I'm sure he's sweating every one of these decisions, Rob.
Hey,
I'm sure he's sweating.
so what's the latest? What's the next column about, and where can we see it?
I should be in the Washington Post of all things tomorrow, Rob. That's what I've been told. I have an article about AI that went up over in the UK a few days ago.
Oh, nice.
And they contacted my editors there, write a lot about AI lately. And I was told, I think tomorrow morning I should be in the Washington Post, I believe in print. So if you are reading it online, it'll be there too. So that's the first time I've been in the Washington Post. And hopefully not the last.
Hey, that's a major milestone, my man. Congratulations, and I will be definitely all in. Oliver, thank you for your time. Keep up the great work. We appreciate you, okay?
Yep, always happy to come on, Rob. Always a pleasure to chat.
That's pretty cool stuff, man. Washington Post. I'm digging that. All right, we're going to take a break. That's big, man. That's big. Be proud. Say it loud.
Local boy. That's right.
That's right, man. Pitt grad,
all right.
Washington Post. I'm loving it. All right, we'll take a break. We got a lot to get to. Stay with us. Your Pratt Pack till 10.